Yo, what's up guys, my name is Severman and in today's video I will show you how to make a drop like Kygo. So the key elements for a Kygo style drop I would say are you need piano. So I'm going to use Nexus piano for this. Then you want a nice vocal chop melody, which we're going to do as well. And then we also want really punchy drums. So usually he uses a kick, of course, but also a snare on every second kick, some hi-hats and shakers, and a groovy bass line. So let's get straight into the video. So first of all, let's do the vocal chops. So I used for this tutorial, I'm going to use a vocal from one of my own tracks. So you can use whatever vocal you have. You can use a royalty-free vocal from a sample pack from Splice or whatever. So you want to take your vocal and then load it up in the plugin called Fruity Slicer. And what this one will do is it's gonna chop up your vocal. It's gonna chop it up. So it's really just about trying out different notes, seeing which ones sound cool, and then you can even, if you place one in the piano roll, change the pitch. And then get really creative. So what I did here sounds like that. So I think we have a cool vocal lead melody going on here. And by the way, the BPM for this is 110. I think Kygo doesn't really make tracks at one specific BPM. You can probably use something from 100 beats per minute up to like 120, 125, I would say. So in this tutorial, I'm going to stick to 110. And then he always uses piano as well for the chords. So I'm going to use the Nexus Bell and Grand Piano for this. Just came up with this little bass line right here. So the notes are following the notes of the lead melody. Let's create some quick chords. I think that sounds great. Let's stick to those. And then we want a really bouncy bass line as well. So I'm gonna go for Nexus as well. I found this nice preset, sounds like that. So we want a sort of plucky type bass. I'm gonna use this one as a sub bass. Now let's add like a mid bass, something on top of it. Perfect, so then we need some drums as well. I already got this kick drum in here. Sounds pretty close to what Kygo uses. Then, as I said, we want a snare on every second kick. Then we want to add some hi-hats and shakers in order to add some spark to the high end, I would say. So we probably want the shakers and hi-hats not in the first half of the drop though. So I'm gonna shift them over here and I'm just gonna copy and paste that here as well. All right, now I added two crashes as well. They also have some sidechain on them to make the kick stand out more. And then I also decided to add the hi-hat sort of in the second quarter of the drop. So now we got this. And then again the second half of the shakers. And by the way, I also added a clap on the snare. Perfect, so now we got the vocal lead, we got the piano chords, we got the bass line. So now let's maybe add a nice ARP synth as well. Let's see what we have here. Maybe one from the Flex pack, the mobile synth plug. Let's see, maybe something like that. And with a little variation here. And maybe go even higher there. And then another sound you can hear on a lot of Kygo's drop is some type of response synth lead. So that's something you use on the second half of the drop, which just plays like a long note. So let's see if we can do something similar here as well. So for example, we could do something like You know, something like that. I'm not sure if let's give this a shot with the chords, so it was something like that. Awesome, so we got pretty much all the key elements down now. We can maybe add some ambient sounds in the background of the drop, some vocal ambient sounds, and then I think I'm also gonna add another layer to the piano. So I found this one, then this one. Then I also added a little uplifter type sound, as well as this fill. Let's add another layer to the piano. So I think I'm gonna try a true pianos layer. So this was before the only one we had. And now with the new one. So it sounds a little bit brighter, a little bit more energetic, I would say. Perfect, so I now mixed everything that we have right here. Let me just walk you through the individual elements again. Let me show you how I process them really quick. So this is the vocal lead. So here we have some EQing first. Let me just do this like one by one. So EQ, low and high cut, OTT. Then we have some vocal doubler. This one sort of fakes the double layers. Vocal doubler, that's what I'm saying. So it's like we're having doubles on the side. So this one just adds a little bit of stereo information to the vocal lead, since the original vocal is mono. Then we have some reverb and the sidechain, of course. Then we got the pianos. So real quick on the pianos. Also here just some basic EQing, some OTT and a stereo enhancer. One thing what Kygo also does, I think, is that he shifts the sidechain curve a little bit to the right side, and that's something that Avicii used to do as well. And this gives a little bit more click to whatever sound you're sidechaining. So then the bass line, so we got the sub and the mid bass. I routed the mid bass to the sub channel, so the mid bass just has this roll off that I already showed. And then on the sub bass we have our bass, just to fatten up the bass frequencies a little bit. And then some EQing and this distortion plugin by Matt Nash and some sidechain. So again, one by one. Then we got the ARP and the Synth Lead. I have them both on the same channel. So on here we have some EQing as well. The vintage chorus to make them a little bit wider as well. Stereo enhancer to widen them up as well. Reverb, I have the wet sync at 100%, dry sync and reduce a bit to push them really into the background, because this is really just some background sounds. Another EQ and the sidechain. Then on the drums, honestly, I didn't really do much processing because the samples already are sounding pretty good. So I only got a little bit of reverb on the snare, so without it, it sounds like that. And then with the reverb. On the clap, just some basic EQ boosting the top end a little bit, but nothing crazy. Same here, just dipping out this little resonance in the short, the hat. Open hat, nothing on here. And on the crash is really just the sidechain, and then I put some delay on the first crash on this one. So now let's play everything together, and I hope you guys like the result.